like Lovable had like a $20 a month, and then they were charging up to $100 a month and for like 500 prompts. But then you go to Cursor, and Cursor for $20 will give you 400 prompts or 500 prompts. It's like each of these applications are doing similar things, but their prices are wildly different from each other. Normally in an industry, the prices may be similar to one another, and yet between Bolt, Lovable, Cursor, these are just examples of a class of AI products. Why are the prices so wildly different?
One is a characteristic of a new market. So I think that what you're seeing a lot right now is heavy experimentation and iteration. You're also seeing a lot of copying. So, although you mentioned, right, it's like, hey, I've got probably a $20 per month per user Lovable subscription. I can go to ChatGPT and it's also $20 per month. And I can go to Anthropic, use Claude, it's $20 per month. Or I could go to Bolt or any number of these. So we're seeing folks that are, as a first pass saying, well, okay, Cursor has this. And so Windsurf comes behind like, well, we're just going to kind of use what they have so that, it seems to be working well enough for them. But you also see folks who are saying, "Hey, there's an opportunity here to maybe rethink how we're providing value given our use case and taking some risks." I think where this is one of the most prominent examples that I've seen is with OpenAI. They were the first out the door with the ChatGPT. Pretty much most people now, when you talk about AI, just think you're talking about ChatGPT. And they came out the gate with a $20 per month seat license. About 6-9 months ago now, they introduced their pro tier at $200 a month. This set off a lot of waves, at least in my world, because it was a 20 to 200. That's a 10x increase, and folks kind of looked at OpenAI as, hey, what are these folks doing? Like, who in their right mind is going to pay $200 per seat? I think one, I don't know that they did a huge amount of research. There was some gossip that Sam Altman just sort of pulled it out of thin air. Hey, we want to do $200 a month. I don't know if that's true. I don't have any inside information into it. But what did we see? We not only saw that there was a cohort of folks who were willing to pay $200 a month, we then saw the same thing I said before, which is a bunch of copycats. So Google and Anthropic both came out with their pro tiers in the same order. I think Anthropic's is like $100 a month. I think Gemini's is on the 200, 250 a month, but basically the same, same basic concept. And not only were there folks who were willing to buy that tier, but I probably spend way too much time on AI Twitter myself. There are folks who are paying across all those providers all the highest tiers. So not only are they paying OpenAI $200 a month, but they're paying Anthropic $100 a month. They're paying Google $250 a month, et cetera. Because these are folks who want access to the latest and greatest intelligence. And so what I think is particularly useful about that example is that, one, they were able to take a really close look at what they were seeing in their usage data. So going back to the costing concern from earlier in our conversation, hey, these are not normal distributions. In school, we got the bell curve, the Gaussian distribution drilled into our heads. But when you're talking a lot about, especially in the pricing world, about usage, willingness to pay, there are really long tail skewed distributions. And they were seeing folks who were using it 10x, 100x more than the average user. And so said, hey, like there's folks who are, one, we're negative margin on, but we think also that they would get a lot of value out of having the latest and greatest, and we should price to that. And I think that's I also like that as a lesson learned for folks, because what I often see for companies that I work with, just even outside of the AI space, say you have a product or an offer for the SMB or mid-market and now you're thinking about the enterprise. And let's say, put us back in the CRM world. Well, we charge $10 a seat. We're introducing a higher tier. I don't know, maybe we could charge 20 or 25 a seat. But those companies are often anchored to what they have in market today. And very rarely are they willing to even consider, maybe someone would be out there who would pay $100 per seat. But that's very much what can happen when you start to look at usage and customer value by these different type of segments who get different value out of your product.
So what exactly are they offering in these higher tiers that people justify paying for?
Well, through total transparency, I have not been convinced to buy the higher tiers of these products. I'm happy paying. I pay all three of them the lower tiers, so I definitely have a higher AI bill maybe than the norm, but not quite to that level. They're getting access to the most powerful models, and I hesitate to even say the model names because they'll probably all be different next week. But the most powerful models, as well as unlimited usage of those capabilities. And so, all the companies, it started with Google, released capabilities like deep research, where it's kind of like you think of it like a really capable intern that you could say, hey, go off and do web research on a couple hundred websites to answer, I don't know. I did it the other day I was buying a workout weighted vest.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this insight, I've handpicked another video for you right here on the screen. For more actionable strategies that get you real results, hit subscribe.